Lately I've been playing drums again, which is great. I've been playing drums with some few friends at work, and we're going to just see how that evolves. And we're having a great time. Honestly, it was years and years ago that I played, but now I have some room during the week, and we have a gig like in 2 weeks from now at the company party. We're gonna play some rock and roll, but in doing so I've been trying again to get my single strokes. That's like when you play right, left, really, really fast, and I've been trying to like get my speed back up again, and I'm doing pretty well. I'm practicing a bit every day just to be free with the technical stuff. But what I've noticed is that when you start in the morning doing the right, left exercise, you feel sort of sloppy in your hands, and it doesn't really work as well as you think. But then after you warmed up a bit, things start to roll, and it starts to get fast and controlled. So this is what I'm thinking as well, that I need to warm up when I make these videos. And warming up means speaking English, just talking for a little while, just taking maybe 10 to 15 minutes, just talking to the camera, acting like this is my place and whatever. When you're filming with the iPhone now at the gimbal, the iPhone screen is flipped the opposite direction, so I can't see what I'm filming. So now I sort of stuck a mirror to the back of the camera, so I can at least see a little bit on my face, but I have no idea about the composition. I'm wondering if I should flip the phone the other way around. And also, as I said before, it's the acoustics in this room is... I do have quite an exciting thing for today. It's just called Learning by Tritus. What I figured was that when I do play drums, you start off with being enthusiastic. That would be the top of Tritus. Okay, I'll do this standing up. That's it. Yeah, come on over here. We put it here, and now I still have some problem with when I put the camera down here. I need to raise the stand a little bit, and then I press this. I moved some. I did move some lights, but now here we are. And also, I have a good friend of mine who works with boards and building things, and he can custom make whiteboards for me. So I'm thinking of making one with him that goes all the way to the top here, just to cover this whole area. And we can make plexiglass whiteboards with different colors at the background, so I can have them any color I want, really. And that's, yeah, I guess that's the problem with the plexiglass type of whiteboards to draw on, is that they have a lot of reflection, so I don't think I can use them. I have to do something else. We'll see what happens. But the idea that I had today will come in three folds. The one would be that a complete system, as Tritus always says, the complete system would be when all the Tritus gets joined together. So if you would have a normal Tritus model like this, when the abstract, the concrete and the theory gets joined together into one, you get life. You could say, or the system works. And if you lose one of the circles, you either lose motivation and purpose of what you're doing, you lose the how, you have no idea how to do it. If you lose this circle, you work in blindness, you have no theory about what you're doing, and that's a bit saddening too. And then if you lose the bottom one, you have no tools or no arms, or if you're supposed to ride a bicycle, you don't have a bicycle. I mean that you would have all the three to make a complete system. So then when you have all three combined into one circle, you push these together, then you have life, or you have the system that you were looking for. And the beautiful thing of being a human being is that you are full of creativity, and you can shoot it out into the rational world, and you can join it together in some theory, and then you can practice. And then after a while, you will, with the practice, push these together, and then you will have a functioning system. And this applies really well to drumming. So when you do a drum exercise, when you play drums, really I should have brought my drumsticks just so I could show it, but I don't have it now. When you play drums, you do certain exercise, a different speed, or you can do a different hand, different sticking. So you do like double stroke, you do like dum 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 dum, and then with this you speed them up and you speed them down, and yeah, you can just imagine how it all works. And when you do this, I mean, during certain exercises have sort of gets blurry because you don't execute them properly. You play and then you sort of lose. You don't play it as well all the time, and that's the thing that I figured out now when I'm practicing again the last week, is that when you feel that it's a bit off, you have to just stop right there and give that principle some love and nourishment, and like stay there until it grows, and then it sort of gets a part of you, and then you can continue. So what I draw out was that I have this is me playing, like I'm playing a lot of things here, a lot of hits, and every now and again I have some bad hits. This is bad down here, and this is good. So sometimes I play, it's really good, and sometimes it's really bad, okay? So it goes like this, the exercise that I did, and you have some sweet spots and some things where you sort of messed up. And this is a framework, this is a general idea. You can apply this idea to when you're studying whatever. You can do whatever you like, but I'm using drums as an example. So, what I'm meaning with, what I'm thinking here is that this is divided into tritus as well, in 3 different circles. Kind of, no, that's bad. Anyways, that doesn't matter. The thing is now that you start off with a vision in your mind, okay? When you're gonna play the drums. So you have a vision that it's beautiful, like music, it's fantastic. You know, I use tritus to explain music as well, where the top layer would be the musical experience, and this would be the instrument. And this applies really well to here. And this would be the theoretical part of music. So you start off by having a vision, like, yeah, I want to play this, and it's going to be so cool, and it's going to be great, and you're all enthusiastic, and like, yeah. And then you start to like, tomorrow, you start building up the theory. Tomorrow I'm going to practice the drums, and I'm going to sit down for an hour and just do this, and da. And then you sit down with the drumsticks, here's the drumsticks on the drum, and you just sit down and start practicing. And then I actually recorded myself with my phone and just saw what I was doing, and I saw that it was a lot of bad hits that I was doing, even though it felt great. I sort of looked at it and I was like, no, this is not really good. So I stopped and I took out these sections where it was really bad, and I worked on them, and I gave them a bit of love, and then it sort of raised up until the quality that I wanted, until it started sounding musical again. Now, here we go. What is all of this about? Well, when you play the drums, right, you have to remember to keep a complete tritus. And this might be a bit confusing, but I'll try to make it. This is like the key thing here. Okay, so in order to have a musical experience, you would have to have a complete circle, right? So what happens when I made some bad moves with the drums? Hang on, I'm just gonna see if we're in camera. Let's do it like this. Oh, that's better. Okay, so when you're playing the drums, when I looked at the video of me playing, I sort of lost my enthusiasm, and I was like, oh, this was not as good as I thought. Like in my mind, I was a true rock star, and we're playing a big stadium. But then I looked at my phone, I was like, oh, I'm really amateurish. And then you lose both this circle and that circle when you look at it, and you're like, you only have the middle circle in that state of mind, and you feel dead because this is gone. You don't want to play again. Oh, so it gets in a bad loop. So instead of putting yourself down at that moment, you just stop and start working here, because a musical experience can only be delivered when it's built up by the theoretical and the practical, until the theoretical sort of vanishes, and then you can just hear the music, and the enthusiasm is back where we started from, because we started being enthusiastic. I don't know where we started from here. We started being enthusiastic, and then we recorded it, and we saw that it was really bad, so we lost the motivation then. Because reality was tough. Reality was far away from where we wanted it. Okay, and the healing and the solution for this is to keep your mind strong and don't get put down, but then to repeat the cycle. This is the thing. You repeat the cycle in the material world. The beauty of the material world is that you master it by cycling. This is like so interesting, I think. The material world is linear and full of opposition, so this is like time-based. But if you walk through time in cycles, after a while you will master whatever you're doing. So you put like heaven in the time, abstractly said. And then when you do that, you will bring heaven onto the materialistic by cycling. And then the cycles will become you will bring the vision to us down here. So the enthusiasm and the musical vision that you had will, because of cycling the reality, you will be able to bring that into the material. And then once it's out here and it's heaven, you brought heaven down to earth, you can transmit this to other people that are listening. Okay? So here you sort of push the top circle of tritus down to the word by hard work, and by cycling the exercise that you're doing over and over and over again. And then once you perfected the material thing here, you work really hard with measurable results and everything, but within the measurable things you sort of have the life, the abstract part of life that you had. And then you can play music really well. Okay? So this is how... Oh, I was supposed to call this episode Learning by Tritus, or perhaps by love, actually. So, and the next bit that's interesting about this, let's move this to the side and get some more whiteboard up here. The interesting bit now is that, come on, stick, please. Come on. The interesting bit here, oh, I thought I got it. Come on, think. It was a beautiful connection. Oh, come on. No, I forgot about it. Oh, come on. I should have kept that idea. It was a great idea. Okay, let's do another analogy then. Let's take this principle of playing drums, finding the parts in the drums where it's really bad, and then you stop right there at that very section of exercise that where you're bad in, and just give that some love and some time, and then it will start to grow. And then you will start to grow by cycling that over and over. It will grow to perfection, and then you will have a heaven here on earth, or like you will bring music to the material, and then with doing that you can transmit it to others. So by doing so you can transmit the top purpose of tritus to others, and by perfecting it you pull it all together. So this is the same principle that I used when I was studying in university. When I got a new course whatever at university. Let's see if we have something else. That's bad too. Oh, it's okay. I started studying. There was loads of different things to study in the course, and then you sort of ended up on one principle, and I just felt that I'm really bad at this, and I stopped right there and studied this over and over and over again until it was clear, and then I moved to the next bit. And I never, towards the end when I was studying the most, this was like my idea. If I find something that I don't understand, I will stay there all day until I get it. I could spend like 6 hours on one little idea at university if I had to, and then I moved on to the next one. Because if I started working where it was the toughest, then the next day this was solved. If I jumped over it, the problem would still be with me. And yeah, what happens is that when you cycle, you're going to push yourself up through tritus bit by bit by bit by bit, line upon line, as someone said, until you reach the revelation, or what I consider is the aha experience, where sort of gets, aha, that's how it works. And then you own it, and then you become the master. By aha experience, you become the master whatever you're cycling. So the aha experience then make you move forward and develop. Yeah, this, okay, now I'm back. I remember the idea. Now, you can draw, when you make an exercises, you can draw next to tritus quality and quantity, or like bad quality. Okay, so bad quality exercises will be if you only do like materialistic, you like, okay, so you play drums, and then you play it really bad, so you're like, when you're just supposed to play really even, okay? So, and you just sit there, and all you engaging, and you're not like putting your spirit into it. But once, if you do that, if you want to have quality exercise, you'll sort of empty your mind and you try to be present with whatever you're doing, and you will faster reach the aha experience. And then, as I've said before, a human being progresses through time by aha experience, okay? And not by time. So we can live here forever and not learning anything. But if we have great aha experience, we will progress. So the progression as a human being is towards the aha experiences, not by spending time. So we would have a quality of life, and quality is up here. So the greater we can have aha experiences, the better quality we can have in our lives. And now, perhaps I'm jumping a bit fast now, but I'm just going back to this analogy there with being a child. Okay, a child who's empty, who don't carry a strong second part of tritus, the mind. So a child who carry a low volume of mind, they have great quality of life. Because if you're emptying your mind, you can faster be in the learning state where the aha moments are. And children learn really fast because their minds are empty. They don't have any structures that they need to pass in order to reach greatness. And now, back to the original idea of tritus. That's meditation, okay? So, if you want to learn, you need to have then an empty mind so you can faster move towards the purpose of that you're doing when you're cycling things in the material. So meditation then becomes a key thing to be clear, so you can fast move to here. So that would be, you would have silence here, and you would have noise here, and silence is no mind, and this noise is then a busy mind. And I believe actually that if you have a noisy mind, you sort of develop ADHD, where you can't focus, you can't sit still, you can't do anything, you can't take instructions. So ADHD could be a result of having too noisy of a mind in too young of an age. And the result then would be to have a silence situation with the child where they don't get stressed and they don't get traumas and stuff. Because noise is related to trauma as well. Okay? Now quite far off the original topic, but this is the greatness of tritus. This is how I sort of when I walk around, I think about these things. I'm like, okay, let's think about music and drums, and then like children, and then noise and ADHD, and then it flips back up to like meditation, and then back to like an old esoteric ritual that I studied about, I don't know, alchemy or whatever. And this is like the thing that I want to bring out in this channel, and it's right here. Look at this. This is just what I want to show on my channel. The greatness of tritus, how you can use this framework in order to jump around in all sort of aspects of life. And this is why tritus becomes a framework for life, because I can use it, apply it how to become a better drummer, how to become a better student, how to become a better person who's learning more, how to become, and then you can just flip this over and over again, because you can apply this. If you, for instance, if you want to have a successful company, if you're in a leadership situation, if you can get your employees to be silent in their minds, they will learn faster and be happier, and then you can work a lot and you would have a more successful business situation. So this was a very good example of tritus and how it sort of evolves. So anyway, I was here with ADHD and noise, and silence would then be the key thing of reaching the aha moments faster. So if we can be in a silent state of mind, or as you can say, a no state of mind. In a no state of mind, you will be as a child again and faster learning, and you would have great quality of life, and then you can also, when you cycle things in the materialistic down here, when you cycle things over and over through time, then these cycles would move faster into quality, because you have with silence in your mind, you have presence in what you're doing. And this was the lesson, learning by tritus. Is that still in there? Yeah, that's the lesson right now. Whoa! This was all improvised and crazy, but still, every video that I make a progress, and soon I'm gonna feel ready. Something gets better in every video, and soon I will feel ready to start to publish for real. Still, I'm like making all sorts of trial and errors, and I'm really glad about this video. I felt that I'm getting closer to where I want to get, and this is it. Tritus. To me, it's the greatest idea. It's the greatest idea that I've come up with so far. Thank you.